I'm Joellen Giddish. I'm a certified nutritional consultant, and I've been in this field since about 1987. I'm kind of dating myself here, but I love the field of nutrition, and I really didn't know what I wanted to do when I grew up. So it just kind of so happened when I was dealing with a weight issue myself that I started studying and looking into different options, and it fascinated me so much that I ended up deciding that's what I was going to study. And after graduating UCLA in psychology, I went to San Francisco State for my master's in nutrition. And I should have stayed with it there, but I really found that what they were teaching that they called nutrition, I had a really hard time thinking that was nutrition. And I'm telling you this for a reason, because then a man named Pavel Arola, anybody familiar with that name? Pavel Arola? Old-time guy, great guy, really into holistic nutrition and health. And when he came to lecture at San Francisco State, I said, that is nutrition. So much to my parents' dismay, I dropped out of San Francisco State and went to a school of natural sciences for a couple of years and became a certified nutritional consultant. And it's really my passion. I go on vacation and I take my nutrition magazines, my articles, instead of the romantic novels and really just being able to look at that stuff, I'm taking nutrition with me. What can I say? It's in this hectic world, it's hard to keep caught up with everything. So it's my passion. I do enjoy it. And I really enjoy working at Dr. Shavarasi's office with all the staff and Dr. Shavarasi. And I really find that we are so in sync with our beliefs that it's very easy for me to be there. Dr. Shavarasi mentioned that there really is no magic bullet. And I can't tell you enough how important that comment is, because we're all looking for that one thing to make us feel better, to make us look better. But it's so eclectic. There's so many things that are involved in total health. And since all these years that I've been practicing this, the field of nutrition is also constantly changing. So it's a tough field because it's not going to stay static. It's not going to be one thing. They keep finding new and different things. And yet it always does come down to what can we do in our lifestyle to support our health so we do have longevity, so we do have energy and full health, and not just living to 90 years old or 100 years old, but living to that age and feeling good and having vitality. How many want to live to 90 or 100 and be hooked up to machines or be bedridden or can't leave your home? That's not what it's about. So it means what we do now to take care of ourselves. And I can't emphasize that enough, that if you're feeling good and have energy, great. How do we keep that up? Because you know what? It is more of a challenge as we get older. I've got 3 teenagers at home right now. Great kids, can't complain, but it's a little bit stressful. I'm trying to earn a living, we're trying to earn a living. The times are tough out there. Stress is probably the one thing that I struggle with the most. And I can see when I don't have it under control, the weight I struggle with, getting along with my family and my peers I struggle with. So there's a lot of things that we need to look at. And we have to really look inside ourselves and say, okay, what is it that I can work on now? Not just for fat loss, but for health and longevity, and look at the big picture. So just a little bit about my experience. I've worked for several different doctors. I've worked for an endocrinologist. I've worked in different clinics. I've worked out of the house when I was raising my kids when they were babies. And I've worked a lot with autoimmune diseases, blood sugar issues, a lot with fat loss. It just seems, I just keep being drawn to that for whatever reason, and I enjoy it, whether I teach groups, whether I see people individually. And what I'm liking to do at Dr. Shavarasi's office is to start a group and to have a once-a-week group so we have the support that Doctor talked about, because having that support from an expert who can help you as well as your peers really makes a difference for success for people. And I find that people that are the most successful are those that are the most consistent. I also find that I can't do just one plan with everybody. I have kind of a basic outline that I like to use with people, but then I've got to take into account their lifestyle and their age and what their physiological issues are and what Dr. Shavarasi comes up with and what their struggles are. And for instance, I had a gentleman in the other day who was a director. He's out of town at least 6 weeks every probably 3-4 months. So he says to me, don't give me just this one diet and tell me this is what I have to stick to, because it's not going to happen for me. When I'm in town, I can do that, and I can follow this, and I can exercise, I can take my supplements, but when I'm away, it's not going to work. So we had to come up with something together that was going to work for him while he's out of town so that he wasn't gaining weight. Maybe he'd maintain, and that would be a success because he's on the set, and you know the kind of foods that are brought in when you're on the set. So it really takes somebody that can work with you and see the different scenarios that exist out there for that person's life. So, with that said, understanding the impact of nutrition and lifestyle. When we're born, it used to be that we all were at pretty much 100% of our health. So you see the 0% up there up to 100%. So that's ideal. And it used to be that top line was that we could maintain that health pretty long. Which is my pointer. Is it this one? Uh-oh. I didn't do that. Okay. Nope, that's not it either. Okay. Karen! How did I get it back? So, it used to be that we could maintain our health for quite a long time until we got into later years. Karen, how do I get it bigger again? Should I go here?
Is she up here?
She was here. So, wrong button. I just want to get the big one up again.
Yeah.
Can you see that enough for me to go on?
Yeah,
that's fine.
Okay. It's fine.
So then it got to be that as time went on, with more McDonald's and Starbucks and junk food at every corner, it was more and more difficult for us to maintain that health through our later years. And as you can see, the bottom line would be dropping off earlier and earlier. So the goal is through a program that when you work with a nutritionist and a doctor that you can try and maintain.
Go on.
There she is. We need you.
Yeah.
And it was just one button that I did wrong.
This is the red dot.
That?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Let's give you back to my big picture. Which one do you want to be at? That one. Just a little bit bigger. This one. Yeah. Okay. There it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So that is the goal, to be able to have ideal health for as long as we can, and then typically be able to, that it drops off. So a lot of this you've seen already, approximately 108 million American adults are overweight or obese, and they have, just the obesity itself lends an increased risk of all these different diseases. A lot of doctors and nutritionists will just go by what a BMI is. Is everybody familiar with the body mass index? It's really just a height to weight comparison. And it's valuable to a point, but the fact is somebody like Arnold Schwarzenegger, if you take his BMI, he's going to be majorly obese. And last time I checked with him, he was not obese, and there was not a whole lot of body fat on that man. So all a BMI is comparing a height to weight, which is why I love to do the BIA or the bioimpedance analysis, because it'll tell me the body fat percentage. And a lot of people say, well, Joellen, what weight should I be at? And I say, you know what? Let's look at what percent body fat you should be at, because I think that's a lot more accurate and a goal that's a lot more feasible for people to look at what body fat percentage should I be at. And speaking of BIAs, I forgot to mention, at the very end, as was mentioned, we will give away 5 BIAs at the office. And at the end of my presentation, is there one person who would like to come up here? I've got like a yoga mat and would be willing to lie on the yoga mat, and I'll do a BIA, which takes about 5 minutes. Somebody wanting to do that?
Sure.
Okay, if we have time, we'll do both of you. How's that? Okay? So we'll see how the time goes. So this is just a BMI, which doesn't tell us a whole lot.